In the distant future, the galaxy had long since been conquered and unified under the banner of the Zarkonian Empire, with fleets of enormous starships, weapons capable of pulverizing planets, and advanced technologies bordering on magic. The Empire believed itself invincible. At the heart of their armada stood the Emperor's Feast, a colossal warship armed with hypercannons, antimatter shields, and a dark energy core that could obliterate anything that stood in its path. The Emperor had sent this warship on a mission to quell resistance on a distant, isolated planet known as Earth. The Empire saw Earth as little more than a primitive backwater, a planet whose inhabitants were technologically underdeveloped and wholly unprepared for the might of Zarkonia. After all, Earth's communication satellites and rudimentary spacecraft had barely touched the edges of their own solar system. Little did the Empire know that their underestimation of Earth would be their undoing. The invasion fleet approached Earth's atmosphere, fully expecting to deploy its powerful weaponry and instill fear in the population below. However, one Earth scientist, Dr. Sarah Lynn, saw the Empire's arrival as both a threat and a challenge. In her laboratory, a bunker disguised as an old steel factory, she had spent years developing an experimental weapon based on Earth's earliest physics discoveries, namely electromagnetic pulses, EMPs, and nuclear technology. These weapons, crude by Zarkonia standards, were designed to interface with electronic systems and force the powerful machinery of the Empire to confront the fundamental forces they had long evolved past. When Dr. Lin detected the Emperor's Feast in Earth's orbit, she sent a message to her counterparts in Earth's militaries and scientific communities, urging them to take an unorthodox approach to repel the alien threat. Her plan was deceptively simple yet brilliant. Using the network of long-range ballistic missiles, she coordinated an assault with a fusion of electromagnetic pulses and atomic warheads. Although Earth had yet to master faster-than-light travel, its missile systems had been perfected over centuries. With a precise launch sequence, thousands of missiles carrying EMP payloads soared into orbit, targeting the Emperor's Feast. The Zarkonian warship's advanced shields absorbed the first wave without issue, causing the Zarkonian crew to laugh at the feeble efforts of the primitive human race. But then, wave after wave of EMPs began to short-circuit critical systems within the ship. These electromagnetic pulses bypassed the intricate dark energy shields, their simple electronic disruptions overwhelming the ship's hyper-advanced quantum network, forcing it into a cycle of shutdowns and resets. As the Emperor's Feast drifted, vulnerable and partially disabled, the second phase of the attack began. Earth's nuclear arsenal, outdated by Zarkonian standards, but lethal nonetheless, was launched directly at the immobilized warship. The Zarkonians had assumed that nuclear energy, deemed obsolete in their era, was beneath their attention, never dreaming it would be used against them. But when the missiles hit, detonating in bursts of atomic fire, the unshielded sections of the ship were torn apart, each explosion ripping through the hull. With the Emperor's Feast critically damaged, the remaining Zarkonian fleet scrambled to retreat, stunned by the sheer force of Earth's primitive technologies. Earth had defeated the most powerful ship in the galaxy with the brute simplicity of early science, proving that sometimes raw ingenuity and resilience could triumph over the most sophisticated weapons in the universe. The Zarkonian Empire would never underestimate the primitive inhabitants of Earth again. News of Earth's unexpected triumph against the Emperor's Feast quickly spread across the galaxy, reaching even the farthest colonies of the Zarkonian Empire. It sent shockwaves through the imperial hierarchy, baffling military strategists who had only ever faced technologically advanced enemies. How could a backward planet with no advanced energy cores, no warp drives, and no artificial intelligence have destroyed their mightiest warship? The Emperor himself ordered an immediate investigation into Earth's unconventional weapons, and whispers of potential rebellion began stirring on worlds once too frightened to resist. Back on Earth, celebrations erupted worldwide. Humanity, for the first time, had glimpsed the vastness of a hostile galaxy, and not only survived but emerged victorious. However, Dr. Sarah Lynn and the world's leaders knew this victory would come at a price. They had drawn the attention of the galaxy's most powerful empire, and though the Emperor's Feast had been defeated, the Zarkonians would soon return in greater force. Realizing the necessity to act fast, Earth's leaders established a united front, bringing together scientists, engineers, and strategists from every nation. They pooled resources and formed the Terran Defense Initiative (TDI), a coalition designed to rapidly accelerate Earth's technological capabilities and prepare for the inevitable Zarkonian retaliation. Dr. Lin was appointed head of weapons development and immediately set to work on improving Earth's defenses. Although her EMP nuclear approach had proven devastating, she knew they needed to think bigger, smarter, and faster. She and her team began developing hybrid weapons, combining Earth's unique technologies with the wreckage salvaged from the remnants of the Emperor's feast. Engineers studied the wreckage intently, analyzing alien alloys, shield generators, and dark energy conduits. As Dr. Lin examined the Emperor's feast's remains, she discovered something astounding. The Zarkonian's dark energy core, though damaged, still pulsed with a faint, eerie glow. It was an unstable but powerful energy source that, with careful manipulation, could potentially be harnessed. Recognizing the core's potential, she ordered a team of physicists to begin reverse engineering its technology. They called the project Operation Starfire. Meanwhile, Zarkonian spies disguised as diplomats began infiltrating Earth's defense initiative. They posed as emissaries of peace, offering Earth reparations for the unprovoked attack, hoping to lull humanity into a false sense of security. Earth's leaders accepted their overtures with caution, fully aware that these peace missions were likely veiled reconnaissance. Despite their attempts at subterfuge, the Zarkonian agents found themselves shocked by the grit and tenacity of Earth's population. Humanity's seemingly chaotic and unorthodox approach to technology baffled them. Earth scientists, once free from the bureaucratic hurdles of their individual governments, were advancing at an astonishing pace, developing experimental weapons and shields that could resist both nuclear and antimatter attacks. After months of feverish research, Dr. Lin and her team finally made a breakthrough. They have managed to stabilize a dark energy core, creating an Earth-powered shield generator based on the Zarkonian design. Testing revealed that this shield could withstand several consecutive nuclear blasts without failing, a significant leap forward in planetary defense. The next phase was arming Earth's new fleet. Using the combined knowledge of human and Zarkonian technology, the TDI began constructing massive orbital platforms, outfitted with hyper-EMP emitters, photon cannons, and railguns enhanced by dark energy cores. Earth's first defense fleet, nicknamed the Iron War, soon took form. As the final ships of the Iron War fleet prepared for launch, reports came in from long-range sensors. A Zarkonian invasion fleet was en route to Earth. The Empire had not taken their previous defeat lightly, and this time, they brought a full battalion of warships, each the size of a small city. On a tense night, with humanity anxiously watching from the ground, Dr. Lin addressed her team and the fleet's pilots. "We've come a long way in a short time," she said. "Earth is no longer a planet of primitive technologies. We are the first and only race to have repelled the Zarkonian Empire with sheer human ingenuity. But tonight, we fight not only for ourselves, but for every world oppressed by the Empire. We're proving that even the greatest force in the galaxy can be challenged." As the Zarkonian fleet entered Earth's orbit, they were met by the Iron Wall, Earth's newly born battle fleet. The two forces clashed in a cataclysmic display of firepower and strategy. Earth's new shields held strong against the enemy's dark energy blasts, while the hyper-EMP emitters sent wave after wave of debilitating electromagnetic pulses, disorienting the enemy's ships. For hours, the space above Earth was ablaze with the fury of battle. Finally, as dawn approached, the remaining Zarkonian warships retreated. The Terran Defense Initiative had held the line. In a galaxy that had once been dominated by the Zarkonian Empire, Earth had not only survived, but established itself as a new force to be reckoned with. For the first time, worlds across the galaxy began to question their allegiance, hopeful that, perhaps, even the mightiest empire could be challenged by the will of those they deemed primitive. The retreat of the Zarkonian fleet marked a pivotal moment for Earth and the galaxy. News of the Terran victory against the Empire spread like wildfire, carried on the interstellar communication networks that connected hundreds of star systems. Worlds previously under Zarkonian rule saw the battle as a symbol of hope. If Earth could defy the Empire, so could they. But as the celebrations on Earth began to die down, a quiet tension filled the air. The Zarkonian Empire had been humiliated. Though the Empire's ships have retreated, their leaders had not been defeated. The Empire's vast bureaucracy churned behind the scenes, devising new strategies and rethinking their approach to the burgeoning threat of Earth. Emperor Zalos, ruler of the Zarkonian Empire, was furious. His most powerful warship, the Emperor's Feast, had been destroyed by what he considered primitive human technology, and affront to his pride and authority. In his private chambers aboard the Imperial throne ship, he paced restlessly, his mind working through the implications of Earth's defiance. He would not let this challenge to his empire go unanswered. A dark figure approached him, a cloaked Zarkonian general known as Vorthok. Renowned for his ruthlessness and cunning, Vorthok was the one person in the Empire whom the Emperor trusted with his most dangerous missions. "Your Excellency," he said in his gravelly voice, "I have a solution. We must treat Earth as we would any other rebellion, swiftly and decisively. The Earthlings may have won a battle, but they will never survive the full might of the Empire. They cannot stand against us a second time." Zalos' eyes gleamed with cold fire. "You are right, General. Earth's victory was an anomaly of fluke. I will personally oversee the next strike. We shall not waste another moment. Prepare the fleet for full-scale invasion." But even as the Emperor prepared for his next move, something unexpected happened. Other factions within the Empire, those who have long resented Zarkonian domination, began to stir. From the distant Outer Rim, several systems sent secret transmissions to Earth, pledging support. The resistance, once weak and fragmented, found new strength in the wake of the Empire's first defeat. They saw the Terran victory not just as a sign of Earth's resilience, but as the spark for an uprising across the galaxy. The Terran Defense Initiative was quick to recognize the shift. Earth had become a beacon for the oppressed. Representatives from several alien races reached out to Dr. Lin and Earth's leaders, seeking to form an alliance. They had spent years under the Zarkonian boot, crushed by the Empire's advanced weaponry and imperial rule, but now they saw an opportunity. Dr. Lin, ever the pragmatic scientist, understood the dangers of such alliances. Many of these resistance groups had their own agendas, and the galaxy's political landscape was complex, but she also knew this was humanity's chance to unite against the real threat, Zarkonian Empire. The first official intergalactic summit was held in Earth's orbit. Aboard one of the Iron Wall's massive space stations, delegates from thousands of planets arrived, representing species that had long been at odds but now saw their survival intertwined. The negotiations were tense, as old rivalries flared and mistrust lingered. But through it all, one fact remained clear: Earth had become the epicenter of a new resistance movement. Dr. Lin stood before the assembly, her words measured but filled with conviction. "We are not here because we have the most advanced weapons. We are not here because we have conquered the galaxy. We are here because we stand together, united by a common cause. We are here because we have shown that no Empire, no matter how powerful, can crush the spirit of freedom." The Terran fleet, now bolstered by alien technology and resources, had grown stronger. Earth's defenses were enhanced with new weapons, including alien quantum disruptors and cloaking shields. And as the Terran Defense Initiative expanded its reach across the galaxy, more systems pledged their support. The Empire, once a towering monolith, now faced a rebellion of unprecedented scale. Back on Earth, Dr. Lin continued to work on Operation Starfire, pushing the boundaries of what her team could achieve. With the assistance of their new allies, the TDI was refining a new weapon, a hyper-efficient fusion engine, capable of propelling ships across galaxies at unimaginable speeds. It would allow Earth's fleet to strike deep into Zarkonian territory, hitting them where they least expected. As the newly formed alliance prepared for the next phase of the war, Earth's leaders were faced with a hard truth. The Zarkonian Empire was not simply going to surrender. They were coming back with even greater force. And though Earth had proved itself capable of holding its ground, the battle for the galaxy was far from over. The Zarkonian fleet, now led by the ruthless General Vorthok, had been restructured and reinforced. New ships, faster and deadlier than ever before, were dispatched to strike Earth and its newfound allies. The Empire's resolve was steeled, and they were ready to take back what they had lost. But for the first time in history, the galaxy stood divided. The balance of power had shifted. Earth, once a small, insignificant planet, had become the spark that ignited a galaxy-wide revolution. The Zarkonian Empire was no longer an unstoppable force, it was a regime on the brink of collapse. As Dr. Lim prepared for the final showdown, she knew one thing for certain: the galaxy would never be the same again. The stage was set for an all-out war, one that would determine the future of every world under the stars.